Morning, guys. Yes, much better conditions than what we had yesterday at the ITM Auckland Super Sprint as we get set for the first race of the day, the NZ Central Muscle Cars out on this circuit. Chris Pithers alongside me. We didn't get even a full lap completed yesterday before all the carnage unfolded on that back straight.
It was wild conditions and obviously disappointing to see those cars get damaged. It's looking good out there today, and I'm excited to see what these guys turn on.
You're sporting the summer wear here. I'm still a bit cold from coming the other side of the country. It's a reverse grid race based on their times from qualifying held here on Friday and a handicap start. So if you qualified up the front, you're coming from the back, and that's big news for the likes of John Midgley and Angus Fogg for this race. So we'll start some of the cars in the pit lane at the end here. In fact, right at the front of our commentary position here, and the guys are qualified towards the back will start at the front. So it promotes good racing, but there will be some carnage.
Certainly will be. I've done some reverse racing in my time. It's a lot of fun, to be honest.
So here's the first group getting away right now. And don't panic, because the guys that start in pit lane have got about, what, 3 or 4 seconds a lap advantage here. And they will catch before the end of the race. It's designed for them to be at the pointy end by the time we get to the end. So there's the leading car around the backside of the circuit, so virtually half a lap advantage already.
It's a huge sprint, as you said, but, you know, we've got some quick cars back in the pack, and I think this is going to build to be one exciting race in the last couple of laps.
Have you ever been in a handicap race?
Certainly have, certainly have. My experience in the V8U category in Australia provided some reverse grid racing, and, you know, you've got to be smart about it. You've got to pick your opportunities, think ahead, and that's where the guys in the quicker cars down the back have to really pick their moments. I
guess also my point is sitting there watching the other cars take off, because it'd be human nature to go when you see the other cars go.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. You got to be patient, no doubt about it, and you got to know that they've got that timing close to perfect for the last lap.
So the leader has just gone through as the fast cars now leave the lane. So they're a lap down at the moment, but that will change very quickly here as they join the pack. There's Angus Fogg. Great to see that Mustang back out the circuit. We didn't see that for what was the abandoned race number 1 you hear yesterday. And already there's some highlights happening. Down at turn 5. Chalked that one up for the first incident down there of the day. We saw a wild moment, didn't we, for Cameron Hill yesterday in the Toyota 86 Series. Similar to that, Tirana going off. In fact, that's almost a carbon copy of it.
Hit a serious amount of speed on then.
And that's just coming in way too hot, isn't it?
Way too hot. And the VK Commodore actually nearly followed him off then as well.
Let's see Tirana going off in the infield. The circuit. So here comes the last group of cars, the fast cars from the back, and they start to slice their way through. There's Dean Perkins in the red Falcon ahead, and oh no, did Angus Fogg damage that car already?
There was contact there. We saw a bit of bodywork flying off, and these guys are racing hard from the start. They know that their best opportunity to try and make ground up on the quicker cars is at the start when it's nice and compact. Obviously, that's going to spread. Once they start to catch those slower cars, they're going to get traffic between them. It's going to make it a lot harder to make positions on the quick cars.
They were given 2 formation laps to get some heat into these tyres, and they're on the charge now. They're outside the top 20. Here's the front group of cars at the moment coming around through the turn 5, 6 and 7 complex, and there's the smoke coming out of the 66 Holden, which we saw in big trouble yesterday.
Yeah, that doesn't look promising there. It's pretty constant, so that would suggest that it's probably an oil leak. Hopefully nothing too major.
It's Steve Ross that was caught up in the lap 1 incident on the back straight, the Route 66 Holden VK through turn 10 and 11. Now this is the back. There was the contact with Angus Fogg on the 429 of Greg Honor at the Husqvarna hairpin.
Just concertinaed a little bit there, actually. Couldn't see any damage on the car, but there was definitely a bit of bodywork come off. And Angus Fogg looks up the inside. Not quite close enough.
On the back of the 19 of John Midgley, he got pole position here on Friday. Didn't get a chance to enjoy it yesterday. Another race to come later today, but this is their standard race in the NZ Central Muscle Cars, where we flip the grids around based on their qualifying times. So Perkins is up to 12th position now with Shane Wixton in the HQ Monaro. So from near back, they're on the charge. This is the leading group of cars coming around to complete another lap.
Still a little bit of smoke coming out of the VK Commodore as he comes up over the hill and onto the ITM straight.
So it was Sean Fowler in the Tirana here at the moment going off at turn number 5. And here comes the group. Now they're coming towards turn 5 as the leaders are down in turn number 1. So as we approach the half race distance mark already, these guys need to get on with it here. They're on the back now of the top 10 positions. And Angus Fogg still trying to get past Midgley. Great forecast grab as he dives down the inside. Textbook move, isn't it, down there at the Husqvarna hairpin?
That was tight. There wasn't much room there. I don't know if John saw him coming pretty late, but they managed to get away with it on that occasion. These guys are pushing hard. I think, too, though, potentially they know the tyres are obviously best early in the race. They're trying to get a yield when they've got grip. These cars have so much horsepower. Obviously no downforce to help the grip. It's all the loads going through the tyre itself. Close to 850 horsepower. It doesn't take long to burn those rear tyres off, and obviously that's going to make it a lot harder to pass later in the race.
So here they come towards the Husqvarna hairpin again, the leading group of cars. The red windscreen banners are the quote race cars. Most of these are running NASCAR style engines underneath the bonnets, and that smoke looks like it's getting worse out of the number 66 Holden. He sweeps his way down to the final turn. It's Tristan Tecchi that continues to lead. Looking back to Perkins, they're some 22 seconds behind this group of cars still.
Sounds like a lot, but just ticked over half race distance. I've still got a lot of time to try and get through the pack. It's going to be a matter of trying to pass these cars nice and quick, not getting held up for too long.
Across the GJ Gardner home chicane. Here's the 55 Holden now coming through turn 6. And a bit different to our rules back with Touring Car Masters in Australia. This category allows a few of the 80s style Fords and Holdens to be involved in the series. But here's the gaps. That was the leading car coming through. Back to the Tirana. Now you'll see the guys at the back will come into the shot there in turn 5 very soon.
It's definitely starting to bunch up a little bit down the back there.
Down to the hairpin, so watch for the black Mustang to come into shot, and the red Falcon more so. The slicing his way through. Dean Perkins is 12th now, 16 seconds. They found 6 seconds on that lap alone. With 4 to go, he should be comfortably at the front, unless this smoke gets worse from Steve Ross's Holden, or you do this down at turn number 6. Well caught.
This catch there. He did well to keep that on the tarmac.
Here's Midgley on the outside of Greg Honor. And even with the rain we had yesterday, it's still dusty off the line. Now, we haven't had any rain this morning, but the outfields here at Pukekohe, very, very wet still indeed from the rain. It just seemed to hang around all morning yesterday. Hopefully we'll get through today without any wet stuff from the skies as we watch the 55 Holden on his way down towards the Husqvarna hairpin, and the gap's getting closer as the faster cars begin the charge from the back of the field here in race 2 of the NZ Central Muscle Cars.
Clark Hopkins moving into the lead on that previous lap. In the gunmetal grey Tirana.
As Tony Galbraith, who was caught up yesterday, was in the 43, the Charger. And here comes Perkins on the outside of Honor. Will he get the 2 for the price of 1 on the 167 of Steve Neuer? He'll go side by side now in the run out the Husqvarna hairpin. It should sweep by and get another position.
That was Shane Wexton around the outside. Such a brave move there. We saw a couple of people come unstuck in the supercar race yesterday, but he managed to pull that off. Shane's hugely experienced around this circuit. At the moment, it just looks like he's trying to follow Dean Perkins through, making progress together. Yeah.
And they've kept it clean. There's been no carnage apart from that little incident on the first lap with Angus Fogg at the Husqvarna hairpin. This is the leading group of cars down to turn 5, 6 and 7. Great addition to Pukekohe. We're talking about the classic track which they joined now, but it's really promoted another passing opportunity in turn 5. They're 3 and 4 wide in the background of the shot.
Back into the race here too. This is going to sort of highlight some people who might have looked after their tyres a little bit more early in the race. And these tyres really go to mush later on in the race, which they'll be struggling with now. See a couple of people breaking traction on the exit of the hairpin. the drivers have to be really patient with that throttle application. 850 horsepower, you've got to be really smooth, really progressive. And if you manage to do that early in the race, you're going to pay dividends later on.
And timing screen is updating every second at the moment with all the changes we've got going on. As through turn one they go. Perkins, his charge has come to a bit of a stop here. There's a whole wall of traffic ahead of him. As they plunge through the GJ Gardner-Holmes S's and onto the back straight one more time. 2 laps to go, and again the 26 following the wheel tracks. And will he spin around this time? Yes, he will. The lead car for the second time has gone across and will lose the lead in the final 2 laps of this race. Lucky to get out off the grass there. We noticed like to park a car in the car park here this morning. Very wet conditions out there on the outfield. Here's Wigston on the outside. Not really, you'll get it done down the Husqvarna hairpin. There's more contact down here. Oh, now the carnage has happened for the second day in a row. Tony Galbraith has caught up in an incident, and that's big damage to the Charger.
Yeah, obviously after that spin, just had no momentum, obviously slow, and just got tangled up there.
Tirana's had the door punched in, so a really tough lap for the 26.
Hopefully these cars can get fired up. It looks like heavy damage there.
It was a domino effect, wasn't it, on the exit? Sean Fowler's Tirana limps away, collected our Virgin Australia sign on the way through, so I don't think he was far enough up the inside. Galbraith really would know where to go. I think he was hoping the gap would open up on the inside, and it never happened. Is there not enough room given there, you think, or you didn't see him coming?
Yeah, hard to say from that angle, to be honest, but the Tirana's really high at this point, and then he turns down quite late. Just gets tagged. I think initially the Camaro was a fair way up the inside, and he was trying to pull out.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage, isn't it, to Galbraith's car? Another race coming up later this afternoon. They're big old tough cars. They run over the debris that's been dropped on the exit. That's where they come now to start the final lap. Can't believe how quick this race has gone. Down to turn number 1. So it's Johnson that leads. Shane Johnson aboard the pony heading down towards the GJ Gardner S's. He started from 5th position. I think he looks good here with half a lap to go.
Looked really smooth through there, nice and accurate, nice and comfortable. Looks like Clark Hopkins in the Tirana in second. A couple of seconds back at this point, but we know that Tirana's very quick as well.
Rick Van Sweat, who started in 7th position, runs in 2nd. Clark Hopkins is now running in 3rd place. Dean Perkins got up to 6th. Anderson is in 8th position. Wigston in 10th. And the likes of Midgley still down in 18th position. So that traffic got harder to get past in the closing stages. They clear the debris on the final turn, wiggling his way through the final set of turns. They didn't get a race in the books yesterday in race number 1 of the NZ Central Muscle Cars, but the reverse handicap race certainly has turned on some action in race number 2, and today the winner is Shane Johnson, and does it nicely from 3rd on the grid. Will pick up the race win ahead of Hopkins in 2nd. We talk about the Dean Perkins. I'd say his drive from near back to 32nd on our grid sheet, but it was pit lane by the time they come out. Up inside the top 10 was a solid drive.
Yeah, definitely. I think Dean Perkins and Shane Wigston were the big movers in that one, and they attacked early. In those first few laps, they managed to clear the quick cars. That paid off later in the race when they started to catch that slower traffic.
Checkered flag waves out there now, so Perkins from pit lane in that last group of cars finishes in 5th. But Shane Johnson is the winner, 1.7 seconds clear of Clark Hopkins. Rick Van Sweat in 3rd. Michael Eaton was 4th. Back to the 2 Deans. Perkins ahead of Hansen and Wigston, Anderson, Steve Ross and Tony Barrows, some 17 seconds behind at the end of that race. Tristan Tecchi started towards the front, was 11th. Lance Midgley down in 14th. John Midgley 16th. Grant Dalton 19th. And Angus Fogg got home for 20th place. A big field of cars here in the NZ Central Muscle Cars. Of course, Andrew Sinclair not making a start after pretty much tearing the front off that